Taco squares are one of my favorite quick casseroles, and this is a loaded taco square because it's using all these ingredients to make one delicious casserole that you can make your own with whatever toppings you want. Let's put it together so you can have one too. Casseroles are a Midwestern treat, and let me tell you something, if you're not used to casseroles, you're about to get used to one of the best ones. And what I mean is, it's super simple, it's all kind of thrown together and then makes a beautiful presentation because you can do whatever you want with this taco square. So I have a traditional taco square casserole, one I grew up with on my website. This is a loaded taco squares. I've heard so many of you tell me the things you like to add to it that I'm taking a mixture of things I like to add to it and kind of making my own over-the-top version that I really like. So it has the same process. Really what this is kind of like a ground meat taco made into a casserole with tortilla shells somewhat as layering, kind of like a lasagna. And what we're gonna start with is ground beef. What I wanna do is just have it start cooking. We're gonna add spices to it. We're gonna add some more flavor, obviously, every step of the way. But what we really wanna do here is just start browning it and breaking it up into small pieces till it's fully cooked. The meat is just about all browned. I like it to get a little bit of crust on it if it can. And you know, the big thing with beef is there's different percentages of how lean they are. So I usually use one that's closer to 90 just because that's what I prefer. If you use one that has a lot less, so if it's at 85% or even an 80, it's gonna have more liquid with it when it's done, and that's fine. You just might wanna drain it off. So what I'm doing now is I've broken my pepper down, which I usually like to cut off the top and the bottom like this, and then break it down into planks. This is just how you get more of an even dice. It's not that you have to. It's just once you start kind of getting used to what works for you, I just find that's what's best. And this to me is one of a quicker way. And what we want here is, the whole point when you're chopping anything, dicing things up, is to have somewhat of an even size so it cooks at an even rate. I'm using a red one because I don't like green bell pepper, never have. But red actually does add more color to this, which I like. And yes, I use the top and the bottom even though I cut them up separately. I just find it easier to chop them separately like this, as opposed to with the whole piece like you do sometimes. So that's the point here, is you can make it your own. If you are someone that has green pepper on hand, or if it's summer, you're making this and you have peppers in the garden, maybe even some Anaheim chilies or some poblano, you can totally do that. Make it your own. I also have some garlic here that I chopped up. I always probably put extra garlic in because look, I grow my own garlic and I have beautiful large cloves of garlic and I use the whole thing. So it really adds up to multiple cloves even though I'm doing one. So what I'm gonna do now is take all of these things, we have peppers, we have onion, we have garlic, and I'm gonna now let them just cook with some of that beef. Now you can see mine does not have a lot of residual liquid, like none. So if yours does, you know, remove that, but then add in these and let them start just getting soft and just beginning to cook. The vegetables, which are just, you know, those onions and those peppers have cooked just a little bit. They're starting to soften, turn a little translucent. So now what we can do is make sure we season every step of the way. Like, you know, the salt we're adding to a dish, if you season along the way, you're gonna add less salt in the end and it's well seasoned at every layer. We're also gonna add in now our chili powder and cumin. So these two together create some of the best, just simple flavors. It's one of those things you just always have on hand. And it's one of those more nostalgic Midwest taco flavors when you add those two together, because you know what, growing up, that's all we had. That's all we knew to have on those taco flavors. So it's that really ground meat taco. So once you stir that in, I like to bloom them in any of that hot oil that's in there from the meat. I'm gonna add in some flour. So this is just gonna overall, once we add the final ingredients, tighten it just enough and let it cook for about a minute or two. The point of the flour is just to cook out that raw flavor and make sure it's evenly coating. So, you know, you stir it for about a minute, you're gonna notice the smell changes a little bit, it starts to cook, that's what you want. It even creates a little bit more of like a paste-like layer on the bottom of the pan. That's perfect. So now what we can do is add all the other components. So this one's loaded. It's really kind of just increased with flavor. So we're gonna add some beautiful hatch chilies or green chilies that are from a can. Pantry staples again, super important here. Casseroles should be pantry staples. We're adding some corn. I always use my homegrown but frozen sweet corn. We freeze it to preserve it. Add in some sweet corn. You can do canned also. Black beans that have been drained, because that's, you know, the best texture you're gonna get from them. But they have more protein, but they also have that creaminess, which I really like. And then some diced tomatoes, and I am doing the fire roasted. So you see those little bits of black char? That's flavor right there. So what I'm gonna do is stir this all together and really let it come to a simmer. The filling has come to a simmer, and you just let it simmer for a little bit, let it cook. It kind of tightens up, that flour activates everywhere. That's really what you want. So this is honestly somewhat like a lasagna, but it's easier because we're working with just a couple things. I always put a small amount in the bottom, just like I would with lasagna. I always think this creates an easier layer for getting out those pieces, because what we're gonna do is cut this in pieces once it bakes. So a small amount creates kind of like this aggregate little area between the pan and that first layer, which I think works really well. So we're taking corn tortillas. You could char them on the stove if you want to. I have done that. You could also just not, and you can just layer them. Do what works for you. You know, this is a casserole. You gotta do what works for you, and what's great is if you want to, you could make this ahead. I'm just layering them here. You can make this ahead, put it in the fridge, so when you get home after work, you could pop it in the oven. It will take a little longer coming from the fridge because that will be cold, obviously. I go up the side just slightly, you can see, very, very slightly. It just creates a better little layer to cup all that filling that we're gonna put into it. And so now I'm gonna put in half of the filling, which yes is a lot, but it's 2 nice generous layers of that filling. And this is the best part. So some of it obviously is gonna soak into those corn tortillas that act almost like a noodle, but not. And then the rest of it is gonna be just this hearty filling, which we're making, like I said, very loaded with all those other ingredients here we've added. And I'm putting it out into an even layer. You don't have to be perfect, but at the same time, you do have to be perfect. So what we're gonna do is now have one simple, quick layer too of some cheese. I think a little bit of cheese on it in between those layers really just kind of brings home, well, it's a casserole, so if it didn't have a lot of cheese, it really wouldn't feel right, would it? And I always shred my own cheese. I think it is creamier. I like the texture better when you shred it yourself, and I think that's really just best. So we're putting that right in between, going all the way out. And then I'm gonna now just repeat these layers, followed by the cheese. I'm getting my last bit of cheese just to sprinkle on top. And now we're gonna bake this, of course, right in the oven. And what we're gonna do is make it so it bubbles all the way throughout. Even though it's all cooked, you want those tortillas to really start soaking in all that beautiful excess liquid that could be there, but also you want the cheese to melt fully into the middle. It's a nice big casserole. So I'm gonna let it bake, then we're gonna talk about toppings. As you can see, this came out of the oven. You wanna let it get really bubbling throughout, let that cheese melt. You can always put the broiler on for a few minutes at the end. Anytime you see brown cheese, that's what happens. That's how you really get that nice crust on it. And then you wanna let it cool for just a little bit to kind of tighten back up. Then you can slice and serve. What's great about this is really good for leftovers, because to me personally, and this is, you know what, make it your own, do whatever you want. I like to make it more into a taco salad of sorts. So I like to use this as kind of almost like a haystack. Like this is the center with the meat, the filling, and then you can embellish it however you want. So leftovers, I mean, imagine pulling this out and having some of your favorite leftovers on it. So I'm trying to slice it up nicely, as nice as you can. But what you can see over here is I have some of the things I would put on it. I have chopped lettuce, I have avocado, I have sour cream, you can put salsa, you can put hot peppers. The sky honestly is the limit here, because everyone likes tacos differently at home, especially like the ground meat ones we're kind of talking about. So make it your own. Now the first piece, this is where you kind of just have a prayer and say, come out nice, please. And there we go. It's beautiful. That's what I love. It looks great. It smells great. You can see what I mean by the layered kind of lasagna-like effect it can have. That's the best part, is those layers really come together. And it smells so good. So like I said, I would always have it with lots of lettuce personally. I would pile that on. Avocado to me is a must. Anything I'm gonna have is gonna have that creamy richness of it. I love sour cream. You can do it all, but really the point here is to know how it actually is just by itself too. So it's hot, it's steaming, but the things I do, my tongue doesn't even notice anymore. I could just sit here and eat it. I love it. It's homey, it's cozy, it's simple, it's straightforward, it's exactly what you see. It's that ground meat mixture with the corn, the beans. You get the layers in there of the tortillas that act as a noodle, but they have that corn tortilla flavor. If you don't love corn tortillas, you could do flour. The texture of a flour gets more soggy. I like the texture of the corn tortilla and I like the flavor it gives. The melted cheese on top, make your own with whatever you want so you can have it too. As always, I hope you share these videos around, because it helps hopefully you, but other people see how easy it is to make good food at home. If I can do this, anybody can do this. I grew up on this for a reason. and I hope you can do the same. Check my website, wiseguy.com, for this recipe and all my others, and until then, enjoy something good. That's the point of food.